Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Combat Tested Gaming. Today, we are going to be watching just the tip of the spear, facing off against Jody's Knocking. And what we have on the screen here for you today is I just want to show you a little bit of the games that are going on. We have in the top seeded matches, we've got Goats and Glory against Hino Bros. We've got Team 3 against Team Ramrod. But today, we are focusing kind of on the middle of the pack and looking at just the tip of the spear and Jody's Knocking. And if I show you this screen, this is going to kind of show you the leaderboard. I know we discussed the leaderboard a lot before these matches and during these matches, but I want to just level the bubbles and make sure everyone understands where everyone is as we're about halfway through the season. Goats and Glory is up top with 12 points, and in second place is Team 3, and in third place is Hino Bros with 10 points. And then we've got Team Ramrod, just tip of the spear, and Jody's Knocking at 988. So we're going to be seeing this tiebreaker here in the 5th and 6th place spot tonight. And I do believe that they are going to be kicking off soon. So we'll go ahead and transition over there right to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you do see that scoreboard for you, just on that standings page, you actually can see that there is a difference in the wins versus losses, by the way. So there is one team is 1-2, the other is 2-1. So although these teams may not be quote tied, they are tied in the games that they have won. So if we do see that one that's fallen a little bit behind in the standings, they come out on top today, you could see these game differentials being a big factor in the seeding.
100%. And also just to keep in mind, these matches are not a best of 5 or a best of 7, but they are 5 full games. And every single win that you get against your opponent during those 5 full games do add towards your points, which will help you climb up that leaderboard. And also, as we kick off this first round, I do just want to thank KC Crew and the VA VFW for hosting Combat Tested Gaming and having these wonderful free leagues for Rocket League as well as Call of Duty. It's really been a great community to be a part of. And we're also expanding our community streaming, which you may have noticed over the past couple of days. Members of the community have been streaming their favorite games, and it has been really, really fun to watch.
It's been fun to watch those games, but it always is fun to watch some good old-fashioned Rocket League right at home where it all started, right? Right with this broadcast. And, well, into this game, we haven't seen too many goals so far. That's my jinx for one to happen right now. No, is it happening yet? No? Okay. Well, I think if this goes in, it would count, but now it doesn't. And yeah, these two teams, though, they're going to have a great matchup today, as well as everyone watching, and hope you guys, let us know in chat who you're rooting for, because that's also what it's about. It's about a community-based fun time, and let us know who you're rooting for.
100%. And we do see... Oh, I thought that was going to be going in for sure. Aerial Angel getting that aerial dribble all the way across the field, but does get stolen and taken away in Top Cougar Slayer. These names are killing me. Top Cougar Slayer, he's a hunter, obviously, is what it's all about. Almost was able to take it back and score one for Jody's Knocking.
Barrier here trying to push this one forward, but does get a little bit of an awkward touch from the defender. This one, though, rolling dangerously, but no follow-up from that, just the tip of the spear side. Instead, there will be a counterattack, and this one gets denied. The brick walls are up, the house is forming, and right now, no houses are falling down to that goal.
No, but Aerial Angel is coming in right here and does get the first goal of this series. It's a 1-0 lead for just the tip of the spear, and I'm loving the animation there, the dropping of the sunglasses, too cool for school. And so this is a good start, right? We have two very evenly matched teams going blow for blow, a lot of fights for possession, and we're seeing just the tip of the spear starting to come away.
Well, not only that, but we also get an extra piece of Kachow in there too. We get the fun times that go with the sound bite, and maybe we're gonna see it again. No, it's the same team, different player, though. Realm will extend that lead up to 2 as we get about halfway into this game.
Yep, it seems like just the tip of the spear kind of woke up. I know they were warming up right before this match, and they came out swinging, and that is a 1 goal apiece for each of the just of the tip of the spears, which is too long of a name, so I do apologize for the stream for it saying just the tip. But I think everyone will forgive me as we were watching them absolutely dominate here with a third goal making it onto the scoreboard.
And James, I'm going to point out something to you here. I think that graphic that you got up there in the top says BO5. You might want to change that to the Unlimited series so that way we can get ourselves, kind of the right idea of what's going on here.
I did, yeah, and that's a good call out, right? Like, as I mentioned before, this is a full 5-game series. Right now we are experimenting with this automated overlay, and right now it is set to unlimited, but it is displaying as best of 5. So yeah, so in between the matches, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and check that, make sure it's good to go, see if I need to reset something, and it'll be much more accurate.
Well, it's just a silly little graphic up at the top, but what's not silly is how this lead is diminishing. Womb Raider finally getting themselves on the board, and Jody's finally knocking, and that goal.
Man, not just Womb's being raided, but just the tip of the spear's net as Womb Raider starts closing that gap. That 3-0 gap, now 3-1, and we are off to the races with another kickoff. Womb Raider, it's kind of hard to say quickly, able to get initial push, and Top Cougar Slayer almost getting a goal there, but it is saved by Realm, and now just the tip of the spear do have good position to try to knock this one into Jody's knocking net.
This one actually getting a little bit wonky as both players go up for it. Only one comes down with the ball in their possession, sends it out to Realm, and Realm will sneak that one in yet again. I mean, we're seeing some team play by just the tip of the spear, and that is working great for him.
It really is, and I think if you look at the placements, I know we were talking about the scores, I do think just tip of the spear is actually the favored team tonight. So we will see, this is the first round. We've got 4 more after it. And though, technically Jody's knocking could come back, I do think this one's going to go to just the tip. And we'll have to see how they are able to adjust in the following matches.
Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But Crash, this is game number 1. There's time to come back, even if this one goes in your opponent's favor. So, I mean, you could even come back in this one. Of course, I don't see that probably happening. But hey, if anything can happen... Well, what did they say? Nothing's impossible, right?
Sure, let's go with that. Oh, big whiff by Womb Raider does end up opening up that lead for just the tip, giving them 5-1. You can see it here again. Slow motion replay. Realm pops it up. It bounces. Womb Raider with the strong dive towards the ball, but does miss it. And that shot being perfectly lined up does make its way into the net.
And in the pre-game lobby, just off stream, we did get word that actually we have a sub here for just the tip of the spear. So Airy Angel is actually a sub for this team. And Jody's knocking, they're quite scared of they're just scared of Airy Angel because GC1, Grand Champion 1 is their rank, and that's not an easy foe to be faced with.
No, that's nothing to shake your head at or your finger at. This is that's a serious rank in Rocket League, and in order to play in these competitive leagues, all of the players do need to be diamond or above. But GC is just so much farther ahead. Realm getting another score there is going to bring that score to 6-1, and in the final seconds of this round, I think that's going to be it. And just the tip is likely going to be coming out of this with a first round win.
If you could show me a clip where a team scores 5 goals in 2 seconds, I would send you a, I don't know, a handshake in the mail?
A present. You lose the bet, yeah.
Props to you, but doesn't look like it's going to happen right now. 1 goal is all they get. We're not going to Brazil, so that's something at least. But yeah, 6-1 is that first score, and 1-0 on the series.
Yeah, 1-0 in the series, and I do love, that juxtaposition of you going, hey, nothing's impossible, anything can happen, to there's no way this can happen, like, I'll do anything if you can send me a good clip. I love that.
Was it oxymoron?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Just the tip, the spear. I like it.
Yeah, I do see that the overlay does seem to have adjusted with that round being complete, so we should be good to go now.
There we go. That's something. Everybody's getting all aligned on the graphics, but now Jody's knocking. They got to get aligned with their defense because hello, Area Angel once again breaking open those doors, coming out to an early lead.
Yeah, that was just pure aggression there, knocking it off the backboard and then coming over the top with that initial goal within the first 10 seconds. That's a power play right there. And also, I do have a question. Do you know what Jody's knocking is referencing, Ari?
It's so familiar.
Do you know what a Jody is?
Honestly, no.
Okay, so in the veteran community, the active duty community, a Jody is that dude back home that's stealing your girl, right? Or boyfriend or whatever. But it's that person that's taking advantage of your absence to kind of sneak in on a relationship. And so it's really tough to root for a team with a name like Jody's Knocking. And and I don't think they're kidding with Top Cougar Hunter and Womb Raider being the names of the team either. So a little sus, but I just wanted to check that because, CTG is a veteran active duty league, and some of that lingo I think might go unnoticed.
I was just worried that it was like something like an 80s reference that I'm just too young to understand, but I'm glad it's at least just a veterans thing and not just an I'm way too young to live in good culture.
No, nothing like that. All right, Womb Raider taking it up the wall right now is going to be able to kind of dribble it, but loses control and ultimately possession as Realm sneaks back and tries to line up for a shot. The ball does go up. Area Angel gets a good bounce, and it bounced off of Jody's Knocking straight into the goal, giving them 2-0 in this second match.
I mean, after that play, I don't know if it's Jody's Knocking. It might just be bouncing off of Jody's noggin, really, after what that play was. I mean, right off the hood, bonk, and just ends up in the back of the net. We don't see that crazy, huge aggression that we've seen from Tip of the Spear before, but they're still managing to get the goals. They're still holding that rock-solid defense, and they should be extending this lead even more if they continue to play how they have been.
Yeah, we'll see. That was a good opportunity there for Jody's Knocking. It does get taken away from them by just the tip, and a demo on the board. Area Angel taking out Womb Raider. I'm curious to see, like, we mentioned like the aggression and the number of shots and kind of the stats that are leading up to these scores, but in the previous recap, Jody's Knocking is getting those shots. It's just the saves are there for just the tip, and I think in one of these rounds, potentially even this one, if they can just sneak by and get a little bit better positioning or a little bit better boost management, I think that we're going to start seeing some even games as they warm up.
Something I always talk about, quality versus quantity of shots, right? Yeah, you can throw a bunch on target, but if they're, either wide or just a very, very easy save, that's not quite valuable for you. You're giving points to the other team and you're giving them possession of the ball. However, if the quality is nice, where, combined with that quantity where you're forcing somebody to go out in position so you can get a rebound, something like that, you're going to set yourself up for a lot of success. And that's what we have seen just the Tip of the Spear been doing in these games. They always end up with that rebound. And I think that's what's led them to these first 2 goals in this game.
100%. No, that's a really good call. Like 3 holes in 1 is better than 3 goals off of 300 shots. But here we are seeing again Realm with a 3rd goal for just the tip in this second match. And we are getting a little bit to that danger zone where we only have a little bit less than 2 minutes remaining for this lead to be basically caught up to for Jody's Knocking. We'll go ahead and see if they can do it, but they're going to have to be on their game and maybe a little bit of luck.
Yeah, that 3-0, at least it's, it's not 5 goals in 2 seconds limit, so that's, well, maybe we're going to get there, though. At some point, we might end up getting back to where we all started with that 5-goal deficit, but either way, 4-0 on the board right now, and, just taking a peek, Area Angel actually with a ham trick in this game.
Yeah, that was fantastic, and I think what we're seeing, and we've brought this up in previous streams as well, is when we have these 2v2 matches, being careful about double committing and being able to get back and being aware of, like, hey, if this bounce is wrong, we got to be on defense. We're seeing a little bit of an overextension, I think. We're seeing those double commits with the intent of getting these goals and closing this lead, which is ultimately leaving the net wide open in certain cases.
I love how you're talking about that, and meanwhile on the ground you just have Womb Raider just absolutely bumping the crap out of one player, and at least it leads to a goal. I mean, hey, you force a player out of rotation, and that'll promote you into an empty net territory. And Area Angel, I guess, went for the squishy save. That one didn't quite work out, but hey, there you go, 4-1 on the board.
Yep, top Cougar Slayer turning that 0 into a 1 for Jody's Knocking, trying to do it again as they get the first touch on that ball. And Womb Raider setting up here, hoping to get past these defenders and get a second goal for the Jody team.
You know, I don't like calling them, 0 or 1 when you're down, right? I don't like calling it 0. I like saying donut because
the donut
it makes it somewhat delightful. Sure, it's not ideal, right? I mean, personally, I'll take some bacon over some donuts, but that's why you gotta hope for the bacon, the 1, right, over the 0.
What was it? Weren't there teams that were all about food?
Oh yeah,
I forgot what they were called, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
we're definitely pushing it, talking about food here. But Realm getting another open net opportunity is going to bring the score up 5-1, and with 25 seconds remaining, this may be a chance for them to find additional wins to climb up that leaderboard. The difference between first place and I believe Just the Tip is 5th or 6th place, is only 4 points, right? So they have 8 points on the leaderboard. First place has 12, and if they can rack up some of these wins, that is going to be a huge opportunity for them to climb up to the top.
I mean, regardless, just taking a win here would be nice, and then we talk about seeding and we talk about all that, but hey, it's right back down to it. 4 goals in 4 seconds. Can you do it? The answer is most certainly no, and that will be a game number 2. Jody's Knocking, I guess, on the brink of losing this series, although it's not a best of 5. They're looking down the back foot right now.
No, but you know what? Like you always say, anything is possible, and Jody's Knocking could come back with a full 3-game sweep. And if you saw the shot counter on that one as well, Just the Tip with 12 shots. I know quality is better than quantity, but sometimes, a million ants will take down one squirrel. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a good analogy. Do you have a better one?
I mean, I'm trying to imagine what a million ants would look like.
I'll throw it into ChatGPT later. I'm sure it'll tell me.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one to fight. But quantity over or quality. Wait, which way is it? Quantity over quality. Good example is, you can never have too much pizza.
What?
If you say otherwise, you're false.
Correct. We're going to call this the pizza score. Right now we're at pizza, and we've got Top Cougar Slayer trying to get in the way of this Just the Tip team as they are aggressively trying to push forward. And right now they're struggling to get it away from their net. Realm, being an enormous pain, is able to pop it up, buy some time for Area Angel to get into position, and we're going to see it over the top, but unfortunately for Just the Tip, does not convert to a goal.
Realm now trying to maybe corral this, but it leaves it for Area Angel, who actually pinches it into their own net. You'll take the goals any way you can. Top Cougar credited with this one, and that's the first lead for Jody's Knocking. A little bit of banter, nice shot coming out in chat, but hey, this will be a fun game.
100%, and we just saw that explosion. It's donuts. I guess the theme for tonight's stream is all about those donuts. And you know what? They are also setting up for that reverse sweep that we were talking about. Getting those 3 victories is still a possibility, especially when Womb Raider takes no prisoners and just goes right down the middle of the field and threads the ball straight into the net, as we'll see here. Right by Realm, boom, right in the top of the net. And that's going to give them a 2-0 lead against Just the Tip of the Spear.
Yeah, Realm there getting overwhelmed by that additional pressure, that rebound like we talked about earlier, right? It's really important to get that rebound. Once you do, you can provide, both a quality shot and a quantity shot, right? Put those up on the board, and, well, a rebound was found for Realm, or at least a nice 50, and Realm will shorten that gap right back up. They're saying it was a fluke, and they're calling the bluff.
Right here, that was the weirdest shot, too. It just kind of, stalled out, slowly dribbled its way in, and then in the original camera angle, it almost looked like Realm's car was, posing. He, skidded to a stop right in front of it. He knew what he did. Just barely touching it, just enough to get that goal.
Hey, photo finish. You gotta make it look fancy.
Photo finish, you know? It's like the equivalent of like the Rockstar knee slide across the stage.
Okay. Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, no, those are fun.
That works.
Those are fun. I have done some before. I've been in a few shows where I had to do that. And pro tip, please wear pants while doing it, because otherwise it will hurt your knees, because you will get serious rug burn or brush burn or something.
Fair enough. You heard it here first, folks. Wear pants. All right, Womb Raider hitting it into the corner. Right now, it's a big struggle for possession. And will you explain a little bit about what's going on here?
Yeah, we got a rule 1. So what this is both players are actually locked. They are, technically you can break out, but it's a taboo in the Rocket League community. You got to make sure you can't break the rule 1. It's bad luck, bad juju for whoever does it. So that's going to mean that whoever else is playing this game will now have to play without their teammates, and they play the 1v1. This one's going to go close to going in and just saved on the goal line. Realm in this 1v1 doing their due diligence and manages to keep this 1v1 going and keep the scoreline just down by 1.
Yeah, I love this. We haven't seen a Rule 1 yet in any of the streams we've done for CTG, but it is such a hilarious, unwritten rule of Rocket League. Now, keep in mind, those players still have full control of their cars and could hit reverse at any time, but it's like this unwritten thing where if you go head-to-head and are stuck and are pushing against each other, you continue to push and you just sit there and wait.
I mean, there is a little bit of controversy on whether it's Rule 1 or Rule 2 or Rule 0. There's two main rules, which is, don't break the car lock, and 2 is keep it up at the end, right? You want to keep it up at the end because you want to play those extra 3-4 seconds. Now, personally, I would call the locked cars Rule 1 and the keep it up Rule 0 because it makes sense. 0 seconds. You have to keep the ball up. So I feel like that's a valuable name for that. But you might need to see one of those actually this game, because we might need to see a buzzer beater.
Yeah, I mean, this has been going on for a hot minute, right? Like, no goal has been made, no reset on the field has occurred, and we are just seeing Realm and Womb Raider duke it out in quite the 1v1 scenario. Oh, and Realm getting a shot. Oh, it does go wide to the right. And only 1 minute remaining. Realm with the advantage, but does get demoed by Womb Raider, but the ball almost goes in. But it doesn't.
That was very close.
Yeah, that was insane.
I mean, in this 1v1 game, we talk about 2v2 where you can't double commit. Now it's just you, right? So you really have to play safe. And Realm is going to have to start taking some of those risks, which are a lot worse in ones, because if you miss one challenge, that ball's in your net, you are donezo. And Realm looking for maybe the chance here and does get it. That's in. Sink it. 2v2. And Realm will separate the Rule 1 and separate the teams to a 0 goal deficit.
That's right. You were talking about buzzer beater earlier. This might end up being an overtime match as we're sitting 2-2 with only 24 seconds remaining. That was a really long period of time without a goal being scored. That really killed the clock. This game being, setting up to be the lowest scoring game of the evening we've had so far. But right now, it does look like Jody's knocking. Oh my gosh, I thought Top Cougar was going to get that goal, but doesn't. Is Womb Raider going to be able to protect their net and take this into overtime?
Rule 0, keep it up, folks. Can you do it? No. I didn't have enough boost, didn't have the right positioning. Well, there we go, right into overtime. That's game number 2, 2-2, 2 seconds on the overtime clock. And what else could you ask more other than, I guess, a car and a 2-2? That'd be interesting.
Well, it is game 3, but I love where your mind's at. And right here, we do have a really well-orchestrated shot from Area Angel, which is going to put this one in the bag for just the tip of the spear. That was my favorite game so far of these 3.
Yeah, I mean, I actually completely forgot about game 2. I mean, I remember it now that you mention it. It was 5-1, but I don't know. It just felt like that game lasted 2 games long. It seemed like those first 2 games, or the first 2 games were won, and this one was the second game. But either way, it's still just the tip of the spear that end up winning the, quote, series if it was a best of 5. But now they got 2 more games to deal with.
Two more games, and right now Jody's Knocking needs to stem the bleeding a little bit, right? So we were talking about the leaderboard and how sensitive it is right now to be able to move up and gain kind of that advantage on the leaderboard. The same thing, is true for being knocked down, right? So if Jody's Knocking can't secure a win, and these other teams above them are, that is going to plummet their score, unfortunately, and send them probably close to the bottom. But here we are with an initial kickoff. We got Top Cougar Slayer with some good control, taking it downfield. Off the backboard, is someone there? Womb Raider does try to get the bounce, but it does go wide. Oh, but off of just the tip, and Top Cougar Slayer getting the first goal of the round. This could be the match where they break this losing streak against Just the Tip of the Spear.
Jody's Knocking, they get a goal, they get that lead once again, and in an attempt to prove that I'm a cultured human being, sing it with me now. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And that's exactly what Jody's Knocking is doing.
I now feel cultured. Thank you. Thank you for that. Here we go. We got Realm flying through the air, trying to get control of this ball and get away from their net. Area Angel does get a nice little bump by Jody's Knocking. And Jody's Knocking really coming out of the gate with some good aggression in this match. And definitely not looking to be shut out in these evening's matches.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams kind of warmed up before going into this game, and it seems like Jody's Knocking, that warm-up might not have kicked in until after game number 2. Right now, you're really starting to see them put on that pressure. Now you're seeing them holding leads, holding that advantage, and maybe you don't need to overextend, right? Maybe that's just what they were making, those silly mistakes that end up being goals in your own net. Maybe we see one here as this is going to be rough for Top Cougar Slayer to get back to, but the touch made perfectly enough so that that save will be made. And, well, both these teams will just have to fight for possession once again.
Yeah, those big, hang time shots are easy to block, but it's also, very nice and convenient when your team is a little out of position. You can just send it up into the air. It gives you time to buy back a little bit of space and get where you need to be to either defend, the return save, or set up for that offensive. And so that's kind of what we're seeing now, these big airtime shots, trying to get the other team out of position, but the Just the Tip of the Spear is showing some good discipline and some great demos, but unfortunately that's not going to help, Jody's Knocking, and that is going to be a tied-up game now with Just the Tip of the Spear scoring their first goal of this game.
That was a beautiful play. I mean, you see it coming from a mile away, right? Once you see that demo, you know what's going to happen. It's really just down to that that final challenge. And, well, it doesn't go well for Jody's Knocking, and neither will the scoreline now as we get all tied up once again. Womb Raider trying to make it in their favor, throwing a shot on net. Maybe a rebound coming on in, but Area Angel will collect that and will corral it over onto the corner.
Two very close shots. I think just a little bit of, a different angle taken when approaching that ball, and it would have gone straight in. Right now we do have Just the Tip of the Spear trying to get a shot, but it does get saved. A second follow-up from Realm does go just a little bit wide to the left, and now it is on Jody's Knocking to try to make something happen. A good dribble, a good flick, and Womb Raider scoring the second goal for Jody's Knocking, giving them the lead, 2-1.
No, I mean, that was great. You played that perfectly, right? You can hope to challenge it. Maybe you get the dunk, but it's not a guarantee, or you could flick it over, try and catch the opponent off guard. That one maybe a little bit better of a chance than a 50-50, and it does go your way. So there you go. You got the lead on the board, but you gotta keep it, folks. Although you could extend it as well. I mean, I'm always down to score more goals when I'm in the lead, but there's no mercy rule in Rocket League.
Not tonight. There's no mercy for either of these teams. Trying to extend the leads as much as possible, really secure these wins, and climb up that leaderboard in anticipation of making it into the final tournament. Top Cougar Slayer with an open net does get it, giving them a 3-1 lead. I think this might be the most secure that they've been from score-wise in this series tonight. So definitely looking good for them.
Yeah, biggest lead of the night for them, which is pretty good. Now, granted, still a little bit different than the 6-1 we saw in that first game. But, if you can come back and at least scrape away a few games, you got to be at least decently happy about that. You'll secure yourself some better seating in that final tournament at the end of the season. Of course, this is a season format. For those of you that may not know, we do have 5 games being played, not a best of 5, all 5, and those totals will kind of add up in the grand scheme of things for that final seeding and for that final placement.
100%. And if you're new here, welcome. This is right now the 4th match of the night against Just the Tip of the Spear and Jody's Knocking. And this is all a part of Combat Tested Gaming, which is a league, a free league for both competitive and casual gamers that have been veterans or active duty service members. So if you're one of those things or know someone that is a veteran or an active duty service member, have them join the Discord. Great community, lots of games, lots of fun, as you're watching right now.
I didn't see you in the air. I mean, those are some words. That's certainly for sure. Yeah, you kind of got to keep your eye on the ball.
Oh no!
And you can't let it go to the back of your net. I mean, this is just a kickoff 50, and then Area Angel just beats Womb Raider to the punch, knocks that one in with a big old ka-chow.
Yeah, a little out of position after that kickoff is going to eliminate any lead that Jody's Knocking had, unfortunately. And now we are in a tied-up game, 1 minute remaining. This is kind of like an overtime situation in the sense that whoever can score the next goal is likely set up to win this match.
I mean, for one of these teams, do you try and force a Rule 1? Of course, it's easier said than done. It rarely happens, but I feel like, Jody's Knocking, if they get that 1v1 scenario, they definitely have time to maybe burn the clock. So I guess you need that earlier goal first. But other than that, once you take out a lead, certainly something you could try and plan for. Although, what did they say? Expect the unexpected? Something about that?
Something about
You'll never
that.
be disappointed.
Nothing's impossible. Expect the unexpected. Donuts are zeros. All these sayings are coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And right now we got Area Angel also coming out from left field, trying to get a goal, making something happen. Realm with the rebound, sending it back to Area Angel, and Area Angel getting the lead, the 4th goal for Just the Tip of the Spear. And like I said, unless this is going to be a kickoff goal for Jody's Knocking, it's not looking good for them in this round.
I mean, you called it. You said whoever scored that final goal right there when it was 3-3 most likely walk away with this game, and we'll have to see if that holds true. As 10 seconds, a tough deal to break, as it looks like Area Angel will just hold this one, catch it, killed on the time down, and now Rule 0 going to effect. One of these teams can choose to kill it, and that they will. Area Angel, win this game with Realm, and they get this 4-3.
Yep, 4-3 victory for Just the Tip of the Spear. Great game. Great game. I definitely think this game and the game before take the cake for the series so far.
Cake?
Take the cake? Cake?
I have some cake downstairs.
Oh, excellent. I thought I might have said something. I was like, what? But yeah, we're going into the final match of the evening, right now. Just the Tip of the Spear have won 4 of the games so far. So if they win this last match, that will give them 5 points on their leaderboard score, which, all things remaining equal, obviously we have the other games going on. But the first place team had 12 prior to tonight's series. So I will expect, even if they do lose this game, that Just the Tip of the Spear is going to be leaving tonight in a very strong position.
Yeah, it's a big ask to see the number 1 seed losing all 5 games. That's a really tall task to ask for. And I don't think we got any genies on standby, so I think we're going to have to deal with maybe just that 2nd or 3rd seed. But either way, I'd be happy with that one, a chance to close that gap even further in these up and coming weeks. But it all starts with securing this one, right? You want to get this 5-0 sweep, and Realm trying to make that happen with an early challenge will not do so. But, maybe getting the rebound here. This one goes off the sidewall.
Yep, and now here's an opportunity for Womb Raider and Top Cougar Slayer to make something happen. We do have a shot go right down the middle, but it is knocked out of the way by Realm with a great save. Good positioning by Just Tip of the Spear as they go on the offense and thread it right through the defense. Realm scores the first goal of the match, 1-0.
I mean, if you take that spear, you shrink it on down, you find a needle, and that's exactly what was threaded right there by Realm. They managed to find the immaculate line, and they will get this lead 1-0, 1 minute into the game. And honestly, that's about as good as a start as you can ask for.
Yeah, strong start, absolutely. Jody's knocking need to make something happen. No one wants to end one of these nights with a 0-win record.
With
And
the
so,
donut win.
well, yeah, not a 0, with a donut record. And so right now we do have Top Cougar Slayer and Womb Raider doing everything that they can to come back. Good positioning right now. I do think they're going to be able to knock this one away and get on the offense. Top Cougar player does have an open net. Can they make it happen? They do. And we've got a tied up game, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1.
Guys, gals, and all non-binary pals, there you go. We got it. A 1-1 tie. And, you know, Jody's knocking. They've lost their leads before. But I kind of believe this game. You know, I may not root for them in the whole series as well. We know who kind of took the game advantage here. But I feel like Jody's knocking can really put up a fight, at least get us to an overtime, maybe get themselves some more goals. But oh my gosh, was that shot close if I've ever seen one. That could have been the difference maker in the grand scheme of things and in the end of this game.
That was definitely too close for comfort. Jody's knocking definitely using up one of their 9 lives here as they're trying to get this out of the way of their net. Oh my goodness, Area Angel able to make another goal against Jody's knocking, giving just the tip of the spear a 1-goal lead.
1-goal lead. We've seen it time and time again. Just the tip of the spear managing to claw back, whether comfortably or not, right? They always end up winning. And I don't know whose fault that is, right? Is that, well, not fault necessarily, but is that, you know, Jody's knocking, slipping up on that defense, or just maybe not applying that offensive pressure? Or is it just the tip of the spear, having those heroic plays, managing to find those gaps in the brick wall of the defense, and just having some overall fantastic plays?
Yeah, I think it's just it's a combination of a few things, obviously, right? Like some of these shots are just really, really good, really well executed, but also the positioning has just been very strong. The ability to get back on defense when you need to be on defense, the ability to apply pressure when you need to apply pressure. That's really the difference that we're seeing between these two teams. But right now, the ball is up near just the tip of the spear's net, and Area Angel trying to make a return play here. But Womb Raider popping it up. It is lined up. Can the goal happen? And it does. Womb Raider dropping the ball from up high right into that net. Looks like he's playing basketball here, but it got the job done. 2-2. Tied up game.
I mean, the Womb Raider, more like boom, see ya later. Are we playing baseball? That one went floating up like a high fly ball, hits a home run or right into in the back of the net, and maybe no way do we see another one. Okay, at least we still see that 2-2 tie stand for a little bit. But yeah, Jody's knocking. I still believe in them. I will still believe. I think they can come back, at least bring this one to overtime.
I do too, and I usually don't make a fan of rooting for anything with Jody in it, but right now I am rooting for the underdog in this last match of the evening. Only a minute and 40 seconds remain, and right now it does look like just the tip of the spear is going to be able to knock this one in, but Womb Raider with that great save, there just wasn't enough spice on that ball. It just wasn't going fast enough, and it is going to be returned all the way across field as Jody's knocking is going to be set up here for a nice little shot by Womb Raider.
Saw maybe a little bit of danger there with both cars committing over towards that save, and well, there's no counterplay to really come from it, right? Oh my
Here we
gosh,
go.
never mind. Top Cougar Slayer ending that chance of that, well, at least ending the tie game, as we got 3-2 right now. Jody's knocking on that door of victory.
Yep, with the donut explosion, they give themselves a 1-goal separation here, making sure that they do not get shut out. And I think Top Cougar Slayer, I think I was calling them Top Cougar Player. I tell you, I think the players make names that are very hard to cast. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, here we go. Womb Raider trying to make something happen again. Realm driving in reverse is able to deflect that and send it back towards Jody's knocking side of the field. And now Womb Raider taking it to the ground, maintaining control and possession, gets a nice little flick off the backboard. But Top Cougar, Top Cougar Slayer gets it! Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be a lost cause, that it didn't happen, but off the backboard, you can see it again. Top Cougar Slayer and Area Angel meeting in the air, but bouncing off the roof and the ground is going to give them a 4-2 lead.
I mean, somehow you get a 50-50 that goes from like halfway up into the air, hits the ceiling, comes back down, and ends up in the net. I don't think we could recreate that if we tried. I mean, it is a tough feat to do. The fact that it happens is really, really amazing for Jody's knocking. And, well, they're going to do a great job of burning out this time because that's something they've been able to do, right? Fend off just the tip of the spear. They've been able to hold their defense, but, well, not at this second.
14 seconds remaining. Are they going to be able to hold just the tip of the spear back so that they can end this night with a W on their record? Everything comes down to the next 14 seconds. Just the tip of the spear trying to get a quick goal, and here goes Jody's knocking trying to prevent them from doing so.
Just the 14 seconds that you see, or maybe more, or maybe less. That might just do it. You see 10 seconds on the clock now, and that might just be the final nail in the coffin. As 2 goals in 10 seconds, it's doable, but not ideal, and not a very high chance of success.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal goal, and the goal that they needed. You can even see in the player chat in the top left, right? Like Area Angel, Realm, both saying, nice shot. Moon Raider had really secured that game for them. I think they could let out a sigh of relief. 1 second left. This is going to hit the ground, and Jody's knocking, coming out with 1 win in the evening. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Just the tip of the spear with 4 wins. Jody's knocking with 1. Phenomenal 5 games. And again, just want to extend a thank you to the KC crew, to the VFW for hosting this amazing community where we can get together as veterans, active duty service members, and just chat, play games, or sign up for a free league like the one that you're watching right now. So with that, that's going to be it. Keep an eye out on this Twitch channel as we do have many community members joining in on the streaming action, playing their favorite games, interacting with the community. And if you're a veteran or an active duty service member, join the Discord. Even if you don't play games, it's a great place to learn about VA benefits, help other veterans out, and overall just interact with a bunch of people with shared histories, awesome stories, and it's a great place to be. All right, everyone have a great night and a great rest of your week.